Hi, my name is Rachel Harris. This is my Ford Transit. She's a high roof extended version. Yeah, come on in. So this is my kitchen. I went with the smallest bar sink you could find at Lowe's, and then this is the faucet that just came along with it. I have a painting that I painted my freshman year of college. It's not that good, but I like it. It's the art that I have. And then I have a vase that I made with some flowers in it. The flowers aren't local, but I bought them from a local shop. So yeah. And then as for cooking, I typically put my stove right here. I just use a 2-burner camper stove. And 2 burners works great for me. You can use a frying pan and then boil some water if you need to. So I just set that up right here. Typically open up the fan and open up, like, crack one of the front windows just to get some airflow. As for food storage, I keep all that up here. I've learned that in a van, having bins for everything is like a lifesaver. So let's see. Like, I keep all, like, my dry goods in little bins up here. Keeps things from moving around, making noise, stuff like that. And then I, like, put all my sentimental things inside my cabinet. So, like, I have a letter from my mom, like, just, like, some words to, like, remind myself who I am. Some pictures with friends, another thing, and then, like, a postcard from my brother. So, yeah. This is actually a bathroom vanity. We bought it as a full piece. And then this is a butcher block countertop that we trimmed down to fit it. And we use the access of the butcher block as like a somewhat of a backsplash kind of thing, just to kind of complete the look. But as for the bathroom vanity, it's worked out really well for me. I don't really have like a ton of stuff per se. Like I'm not a minimalist by any means. But I would say that, like, if you are looking for more storage, I would go for like more of a hand-built situation, so you can have more space in your drawers. So, like, for example, my drawers are pretty small. They work for me, but it's been really, really nice. The good thing about these drawers is they actually have a little bit of, like, stick to them naturally. So I actually haven't had to put any clamps or anything to keep them closed. Like, every once in a while, like, if I'm taking a mountain road and taking a turn too fast, like, 1 or 2 will fly open. But if I keep them light, they tend to stay shut. And then in here, I typically just keep, again, with the bins, always got to have a bin. I keep all my cleaning supplies, trash, my gray water buckets down here. The buckets work fine for me. It's super easy to empty out. Like, I use biodegradable soap. Typically it's just like a little bit of toothpaste, water, and dishes, water. So that's pretty easy to empty out. I would say that, like, in the future, I would probably just bypass that and do no gray water tank at all. But the buckets worked for me. I've been, like, using it for a year. And it's pretty easy just to, like, pull out, dump out in a spot that's safe to do so, and then put it back in. So yeah. I kind of consider this my, like, quote unquote bathroom. I feel like I have, like, different areas of the van. So, like, I have, like, above the driver's seat, I consider the attic, or, like, underneath here, I consider the garage. These 2 drawers are, like, my bathroom. So I keep all my toiletries in here, like toothbrush, toothpaste, sunscreen, lotion. And then down here is, like, extra shampoo, some toilet paper, kind of just, like, the necessities. Awesome. So this is my Dometic 12-volt fridge. I went with this, A, because it's energy efficient, and then B, I wasn't too concerned about having to, like, sort through stuff and, like, try to find things in it. But it does pull out, and then you can actually sit on this as extra seating, and it works out well when I have guests over. My front seat doesn't swivel, so it's nice to have, like, an extended bench. So I was in college, and I probably stumbled upon a YouTube video or an Instagram post. I'm really not sure what kind of sparked the initial, like, okay, Rachel wants to live in a van, or I want to live in a van. But kind of from there, I started talking about it, and once I started talking about it with people, it kind of became a thing. I was known for the girl who wanted to live in a van after college. And I think part of the spark was like, okay, I've told probably 1,000 people that I'm living in a van after college. So there's like, I gotta go through with it. I think there's a certain need for like adventure in my life. And I think van life offered that ability to like A, get outside, B, be wherever I want, whenever I want with the same bed, and C, like kind of like puts a little spice in your life. I don't know, like you gotta like, I don't know, like there's a certain point where like it's kind of fun like trying to find a parking spot at night. I didn't know that was the adventure I needed in the moment, but I kind of look back at it and I'm like, okay, like the adventure of van life kind of sparked that want to do it. So for my closet, I decided that I wanted the space to be pretty flexible, so that if I do decide to have a toilet would fit here. But I also wanted hanging space for my clothes. I'm like a very like the least amount of steps to get ready, like the better. Like having a place to keep my stuff like wrinkle free was a high priority for me. It's also nice just to have right here. I can like sort through exactly what I want, pull it out, put it on. I'm ready for the day. And then this little like shoe compartment thing I actually got for my dorm room in college, and I've kind of kept it ever since. So I am sitting on a 5-inch memory foam mattress. In warm weather, great. In cold weather, it's a little bit hard, but by like 10 minutes in, you've warmed it up and it's soft again. As for bedding, I actually just recently switched out to like my spring sheets. So it's like a fun little way to like spruce up the van and switch things up without having to like make a dramatic change. So I have a twin comforter on here just because the full is always a little bit too extra to like stuff down the sides. So the twin kind of keeps that front, like prevents me from having to like spend 5 minutes making the bed. I also used to have like, I would say like 8 pillows, but I got so annoyed with all the pillows like pushed to the side and sleeping in like a little slither of the bed that I had to go down to just 2 pillows, A, to save space, and B, to be comfortable. And then got a fire alarm / CO detector. And this right here is an air conditioning unit. I would say I rarely use it. I only can use it when I'm plugged in because it takes so much power. And I would say, honestly, like if I were to do one thing over in the van, it would be doing 2 fans instead of an air conditioning unit and a fan. So that was like the one big thing looking back. I'm like, man, I wish I had like some sort of circulation, whether it was another fan or a window in the back. As for storage, I have these compartments on this side of the bed, and they open up and I just have like all my workout clothes, more workout clothes, and then swimsuits, and then an extra pair of sheets. So for my curtains, I actually use like the airbag covers and a shower curtain rod, and I strung it up like this way. Some light does peek through the top, but I haven't actually found that to be an issue. I've been in the van for a year, and definitely done some like stealth parking, however you can in a big van like this. And I haven't had an issue. I own a lot of blankets, but every blanket has its own purpose. Like this is like my okay, I'm gonna sit by a fire and have a blanket. This is actually a heated blanket. It runs off a 12-volt like plug, like a cigarette lighter. And then I have 2 other blankets here, like one for like sitting out on dirt, and then like the other one when I'm cold in bed. So the advice I would give myself when I first started building out the van would be it's okay to not have a perfect build out the first time. There's a lot of learning lessons within it, and I think sometimes you can get caught up in comparison. So I would say drop the want to be perfect and then drop the comparison side of things. So for work on the road, I work remotely for a company that does Amazon advertising called Seller Labs. And then I also sell pottery out of a shop in LJ, Georgia, called I Love Linens and Pearls. And that's kind of become a really good like passive income for me. So yeah. The thing with pottery is it's kind of like van life, is you can mess up and you can always just fix the problem or solve the problem. Like I feel like when you like are throwing on a wheel, you can so quickly like lose like the dream that you had. But then all you got to do is just pop another piece of clay on the wheel and like create what you want to create again. And with ceramics is you never know how to be good at it without failing. So there's a certain point where you have to like over pull something to learn like, okay, that's the max that the clay can do. So yeah. So I actually started working remotely after beginning to live in the van. So I never really had like an original like office built in. So we kind of had to make do with what we had. So I ended up installing a Lagoon table mount, which actually doubles really well as a dining room table. I just lower it. So yeah, I have my keyboard, my mouse, monitor. I typically work from both screens. I actually find it really nice to have meetings when the desk is a little bit lower, and I have my laptop instead of the monitor. But overall, this is my workspace. Yeah. So this is my garage space. I mostly did a fixed bed because I knew that I wanted to have bikes in my van. So I actually built out this drawer with my dad, and it slides out. As for like storage, I have a lot of stuff. So I have like skis kind of tucked up in here with bungee cords. You can never have too many hooks in a van. That's my belief. So I have like all my backpacks hung up here. My laundry bag is actually hung here, so I could just like come to the end of the bed, tuck the clothes in, never have to see it in my space. And then another backpack. This is my shower bag. It's ready to go. I typically shower at Planet Fitnesses. And then I also have like all my like car camping stuff over here. So like chairs, sleeping bag, all the stuff you can need. So I have a 30-gallon water tank, and it's actually hooked up to an electric pump. The pump's actually hidden back in the back of my like garage space. And then with a flip of a switch in my van, the sink turns on and I have running water. Yeah, and then all my electrical stuff is over here. I have like some fuses, my inverter, and then I have 2 solar panels on top of my van. They're both 160 watt solar panels, and those go to my battery bank, which is 2 100 amp hour lithium battle-borne batteries. I would say like I eventually want to settle down and have a pottery studio, and kind of be in a more stable spot. Maybe keep the van and sell pottery on the road, but I do want to have like a home base where I can like fire stuff consistently and like have the same humidity consistently, so I know like, okay, my pot's dry this way in Georgia, let's say. So kind of have like a long-term goal to be in the same spot and have a pottery studio. So whether that looks like a year or if it looks like 5 years, that's kind of my goal. Thanks for hanging out with me today. You can find me at Story Behind the Joy on Instagram, or if you want to look into my ceramics, the link is in the description on that.